We have the marking of the Millvale Dam, the 100th anniversary, 1895 to 1995. We do have Sal's writings on this. He actually wrote a little story and little history of the Millvale Dam. And it's just pictures here of the Millvale area in the Italian heritage. And the Italians actually built the dam at Millvale Pond. They are recalling the Benedetti tradition, we're calling this a part of the exhibit. Here we have a picture of Molly Benedetti's store. This one is a picture of their shoe store. This one here, a picture of their sports shop. And this one here, a picture on Washington Street. Here's a shot here of Tilton Tower and the Spalding House.
Excellent.
That came out of the Amari exhibit collection. Here's the High Street Fire Station. The High Street Fire Station is still open as of we're filming today. That was the only means of fire safety for the people of the Hill of Haverhill. Here's some of the schools. Hey, Larry.
Yeah?
There's the John C. Tilton School. Do you know someone who went there?
Yeah, I did.
Well, there's the Tilton School, the Currier School, the Bartlett School, and the old Bowley School. Which the Bowley School was destroyed by fire. It was on Washington Street. And here's one of those old panoramic views from the Tilton Tower looking down towards the Tilton School.
Oh, yeah.
Off the portion of Blaisdell Street below the hill.
Excellent.
There's some great pictures through this whole exhibit. I know we can't go through them all, but
Right.
I mean, here's St. George's Church, Mount Washington Universalist Church, the Baptist Church, the Hebrew Church. A lot of churches were up in the Hill of Haverhill and even just around the community here in the city.
Right.
But, you know, like everything else, Larry, it goes through cycles. At one time, every ethnic community had their own church. Now it's down to smaller churches or a bigger congregation and a bigger church, and the smaller churches are now closed. For example, St. Rita's is closed now. Here's the construction of St. Joe's Church overlooking Broadway, which most of the smaller churches is now in the one congregation over here at All Saints. This is pretty interesting, this picture. This is a sketch of the Passaconaway Playgrounds, or today we call Swayze's Field. Dedicated as Passaconaway Park in 1910, named for the original Passaconaway Indian settlement at this site. Which Haverhill was loaded with Indians, not only here, but we had the Pentucket tribe, which you've seen when you were here earlier. Here's some more shots of the great Swayze's Field. And back in the early part of the 1920s and 30s, every corner had its own drugstore. There was no Brooks, there was no CVS, there was no Walgreens. Here's the Mount Washington Pharmacy at the corner of High Street and Currier Square. The building still stands today. Like I said, at one time, every ethnic group had their own church. The Italians here in Haverhill had St. Rita's. Here's a mass pamphlet of St. Rita's Church. We also have the 50th anniversary, this was done by Sal, of the Victor Emmanuel Lodge dinner. It was a dinner dance. Some of the pictures, and this would have been the main pamphlet, later ran off into paper, and who this book was in memory of, and our board members at the time. Every year in April, right before Easter or so, we have what is called a memorial mass. This was our 40th annual memorial mass that stepped off on Washington Street. We block off Washington Street from the lodge. We go up the hill, down. It used to go to St. Rita's. Now we go to All Saints and then back to the lodge. Well, this here we have for sale today and throughout this whole exhibit. It's the Italians of Haverhill, written by Dr. Patricia O'Malley, who was my wonderful professor over at Bradford College. This book here is actually a joint venture between the Sons of Italy here in Haverhill and the Haverhill Historical Society. We're gonna split the proceeds of the book, and in fact, we also got, if you think your family, got family in the book, we know how to get a hold of your family. Just look up at the front of the book, and it's all, every family member, every picture of it is got a page number with it.